As Jharkhand goes into phase 1 of polling, Prime Minister Modi urged all voters to vote in the state with full enthusiasm in the festival of democracy. The voting for 43 assembly seats in Jharkhand commenced today with a total of 683 candidates trying their luck, including the former Chief Minister Champai Soren and ex-MP Geeta Kora. The Enforcement Directorate conducted raids in 17 locations across Jharkhand and West Bengal, investigating a money laundering case linked to the alleged trafficking of Bangladeshi nationals. The raids, part of an ongoing investigation based on a Jharkhand police FIR, comes just ahead of assembly elections in both states. Armies of India and China have agreed to carry out one coordinated patrol every week in the Demchok and Lipsang areas in eastern Ladakh sector and have already completed one round of patrolling there. The two sides had started coordinated patrols in the first week of the month after completing disengagement in both Demchok and Lipsang in the last week of October. India successfully test-fired its indigenously developed long-range land attack cruise missile from the integrated test range in Odisha's Chandipur. The missile has the capability to launch from a military truck and is also configured to launch from Indian Navy warships. The missile can travel 1,000 kilometers to hit its targets. Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud arrived in New Delhi for a two-day official visit to India. During his visit, he will co-chair the second meeting of the Political, Security, Social and Cultural Committee of the India-Saudi Arabia Strategic Partnership Council. U.S. President Joe Biden hosted Indonesia's new president for a White House visit as the U.S. leader ramps up a busy stretch of international diplomacy, all while global leaders are turning their attention to what comes next, with President-elect Donald Trump set to return to office in just over 2 months. U.S. President at the White House, as international aid groups say Israel has failed to meet U.S. demands that it allow greater humanitarian access to the Gaza Strip. The Israeli president also thanked Biden for his enduring support in the days following the October 7th attacks. The Biden administration said that Israel has made good but limited progress in increasing the flow of humanitarian aid to Gaza, and therefore it will not limit arms transfers to Israel, as it had threatened to a month ago if the situation had not improved. Relief groups say conditions are worse than at any point in the 13-month-old war. President-elect Donald Trump will nominate former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee as ambassador to Israel. Huckabee is a staunch defender of Israel, and his intended nomination comes as Trump has promised to align U.S. foreign policy more closely with Israel's interests as it wages wars against the Iran-backed Hamas and Hezbollah. Donald Trump has chosen South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem to lead the Department of Homeland Security, vital to his border security and deportation plans. The department also oversees immigration services, disaster response, the U.S. Secret Service, and Transportation Security Administration agents who work at airports. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says President Biden's meeting with President-elect Trump is to ensure a smooth transition. Biden is hosting Trump today, upholding the tradition of a peaceful power transfer, despite Trump's disinterest 4 years ago. Democrat Ruben Gallego has been elected Arizona's first Latino U.S. Senator, defeating Republican Kari Lake. His win continues a Democratic shift in a state once solidly Republican since Trump's 2016 election, although Trump won Arizona over Kamala Harris this year. Ukraine President Zelensky met Tuesday with new ambassadors from Greece, Albania, Japan and Egypt who presented their credentials and held separate talks. This followed ahead of U.S. Secretary of State Blinken's urgent Ukraine discussions with NATO and EU officials. An explosion at a natural color plant in Louisville injured 11 employees who were hospitalized. The blast shattered windows and damaged nearby buildings. Footage showed the plant center burnt and partially collapsed. The cause is under investigation. Students in Buenos Aires protested President Milei's veto of increased university funding. The demonstrations followed the Congress upholding the veto, which cut teacher salaries and university budgets amid rising inflation. The university financing bill had strong congressional support. Angry protesters protested at the headquarters of a lithium mining company that has been granted exploration rights in Serbia. Residents of Valjevo have been holding repeated protests against Euro-Lithium Balkans mine exploration in the vicinity of this western Serbian town. They say they won't allow potentially environmentally harmful lithium mines to be opened in western Serbia. The United Nations has condemned the Rapid Support Forces attacks on civilians and the Sudanese Armed Forces airstrikes on populated areas. The conflict has triggered the world's largest displacement crisis, with civilians fleeing both within Sudan and across borders. A bridge dating back to the horse and buggy area known locally as the Ghost Bridge has recently become visible and is attracting visitors from across the region. Located in a reservoir that supplies water in New Jersey, the bridge was uncovered after officials drained the reservoir for maintenance and to upgrade a valve in the dam. Apologetic rapper Tekashi was sentenced to 45 days in prison by a federal judge who said repeated violations of his probation after his cooperation against a violent gang won him leniency in a criminal case, showing that he doesn't have sufficient respect for judicial system rules. In a sweeping international operation, authorities have dismantled a global art forgery network that forged over 2,000 artworks attributed to artists like Banksy, Warhol, and Picasso. Led by Italian police with support from Belgium, France, and Spain, the scheme could have caused over $200 million worth of losses. British author Samantha Harvey has won the Booker Prize for Orbital, a novel set on a space station. She was awarded £50,000 for the space pastoral, which she began writing during the pandemic. Harvey is the first British writer since 2020 to win the Booker. In the world of cricket, the men in blue are sweating it out in the nets ahead of tonight's third T20 International against South Africa. With the four-match series level at 1-1, tonight's match holds major significance for Surya Kumar Yadav's side. Meanwhile, former Indian pace Munaf Patel has joined Delhi Capitals ahead of the 2025 edition of the Indian Premier League. Patel played 70 ODIs for India and picked 86 wickets during that time. He was also part of India's 2011 World Cup winning side. And KL Rahul has expressed excitement for the upcoming IPL mega auction, saying he would be thrilled to return to the Royal Challengers Bangalore and play at Chinnaswamy again. After leaving Lucknow Super Giants, Rahul says he's eager to join a team where he is respected and loved.